So welcome everyone to the Food Co-op, South Philly Food Co-op Spring 2023 General Membership Meeting. I'm putting in the chat something that you can write about yourself. You can put your name, pronoun, what activity you've enjoyed the most at the co-op so we can see what you've been enjoying and maybe share that with others who have not tried that yet. I know that what I've enjoyed, was a Zoom class, cooking class, making a Jerusalem artichoke quiche, and I made my own pastry by myself, so I've never done that. I didn't even know what a Jerusalem artichoke was, so it was in season, so it was really, really tasty and really good. Loved it. So much to learn. Would anybody else like to share? Enjoy the coffee with the board. Molly, hi, Brendan. New food. There's always something new, right? In the store. So exciting when they put things out on social media and it's like, ooh, this, try this, try this. I love that. An appreciation day, cooking classes. Sharon, what kind of cooking class did you take?
I think I did the same one as you actually, Nita. I remember that one. It was very good.
Oh my goodness, yes. It was yum. Would anybody else like to share the kinds of things that they've done? Oh, the Thanksgiving produce bags. Yes, that is something I get every year and find it so useful, and everything you can use for Thanksgiving and more. And everything's so fresh. What else do we have here? Co-op deals. Yes, yes, yes. They've been awesome, haven't they? Especially with our going into NCG, I think we've really been able to leverage that and get some good deals out there for everyone to use and be able to get. Anything else anybody would like to share? Ooh, that's a nice, Lori. The candy snap grapes for Natalia's guava lemonade. I've never tried that. Gotta try that. And also those ice creams that Chad had showed me once. It was a papaya tropical. So good. All right, so it is 6:34. Unless anybody else would like to share what they're doing. Got something in my throat. Why don't we start? Okay, these are the general rules, which everyone is familiar with. Keep yourself muted. Put questions in the chat, which we'll answer at the end. For folks on Zoom, use the gallery versus the speaker view. Keep your video on or turn it off, whatever is comfortable for you. And there is going to be closed caption, which you can click on the CC icon and get that in. And as Chad had mentioned to some of us, that it is being recorded.
I think for the agenda tonight, we have first up general updates from the board of directors, then election updates with the board's governance committee, including me, And then store updates from the general manager, Lori, which include operations, impact, financials, the capital campaign, and looking ahead at all our accomplishments and soon to be accomplishments. And then finally, we have events updates from the board's membership committee, which the membership committee puts on great events like Coffee with the Board at Flannel kind of recently. Excited to hear from them. And then we'll adjourn. And just a reminder, we'll talk about this later too, but don't forget to cast your ballot by 8 p.m. tonight.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Chad Hooper. I use he, him pronouns. I'm our board president. Let's just review our mission, using food as a force for good at our tables, in our community, and for our planet. Our board uses our mission to center all of our work, and we are trying to govern the store so that we can achieve our ends, policies that we adopted in 2019 before we were even an open and operating store. Our ends are aspirational goals that we have for our co-op and our community. And over the next year, we'll be taking a look at those to be sure that they're still in alignment with our operating reality, and that we can continue to manage them, and that they say and are worded in a way that best represents what the board is hoping to achieve. We just to update on what the board's been working on this year. We are really grateful to the folks on the governance committee who helped lead a process where we implemented an anti-racist policy register. That's a group of documents that governs how the board manages and governs the store manager and operations, and how we interact with the store and how we manage ourselves. And so we were able to draft that whole new policy register together and begin implementing those policies. And we'll have them fully implemented in September. And we're really excited about that. It was a very long project, and I'm grateful to our board secretary who leads our governance committee, and all of the members of governance for their hard work on shepherding that project. We've also been doing a lot of work to ensure that our store is accessible to everybody. And one of our major accomplishments for any co-op, and especially for ours, is gaining access to membership in the National Co-op Grocers, a co-op of co-ops, if you will. And for those of you who frequently shop in our little store, you have noticed some changes, some better pricing, and all of that is thanks to this relationship we now have that allows us to purchase our inventory in a consortium with hundreds of other food co-ops across North America. We tried for years, even before I was a board member, to become NCG members. And so finally, that group views us as a good investment, and we were admitted. And so we're just very, very excited about that. And we're really proud of Lori and all of the work that her team did to get us to that goal. With the National Co-op Grocers comes a lot of benefits for our store, our members, and our community. And so you'll see some new pricing programs that roll out over the next year. Some of them have rolled out and continue to. So I saw one of our member owners mentioned in the chat leading up the new co-op deals and our couponing and things that we have. Those are all really phenomenal, and we're excited to have those. That's a new program through our NCG relationship. But we're still committed to our basics program, and you'll see some additional deals there. We were also able to implement a food bucks program, which gives additional support to people who use EBT and other food benefits so that they can stretch their dollars, so that they can afford produce and other healthful food at their table, and just so many other things that I don't have a lot of time to get into right now because I think I'm already over my limit. So just to say that it's been a really busy year and there's still a lot of work to do. We're still a startup and a new co-op. We're working to think about the future and, you know, how we prepare financially for the next phase of our project, right? We think about our co-op kind of in three parts. There was like our pre-opening development phase that took a very long time, 10 years. Then we had this last period of a couple of years of trying to get open during this pandemic and opening and trying to find out what works. And now getting this NCG component into place and operationalized is going to set us up for success and growth in the future, and that ongoing financial stability and all of the kind of business needs that come along with that. That's where our mind is going now. And so we think about what kind of board skills we need in order to do that. One of the major projects is reconnecting our board to the member owners. We used to be able to come into space together and it was very interactive being a member owner of this co-op. And the pandemic changed that for us quite a bit and we're out of practice. Our co-op is really small and we don't have a meeting space inside of it. So we're going to be trying a lot of things and we're really proud of Zaire and everyone on the membership committee for all of the new things that they've been trying. That's our new committee this year, and we're excited to see how that continues to grow and develop. And we're always eager to hear from all of you as well, like any feedback that you have or ideas that you have to help us as we continue to rebuild that connection. We have an election, and you'll hear more about that too today. I did want to just take a minute, not to get incredibly misty-eyed, but there are some folks that we should recognize from our member owner community who've contributed quite a lot to our board. And we'll be saying goodbye at the end of June to them. So I wanted to first recognize our Vice President, Mita, who greeted everyone as we were coming in today. Mita has been involved with our co-op for more than 6 years. She started in our outreach committee before when we were as just a volunteer, and she joined our board along with me and is rolling off here at the end of her term. And she will be very, very missed. Mita, as vice president, has been a tremendous support to me and really keeps our board organized and moving and is always really eager to support outreach and any kinds of events. I don't think that there's any job too big or too small for Mita, and I can't thank her enough for her time and just her generous support of our co-op. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of the effort that Mita has given us. I also wanted to recognize Dr. Eliza Kinsey, who formerly was our board secretary and currently is serving as an at-large director. She also will be rolling off the board on the 30th of June. Eliza has spent has given us just so much technical expertise. I don't even know how to discuss it or how to put it all in a sentence. Her professional skill, like at managing data, and all of her knowledge about nutrition and outcomes and public health really informed like our project and what we wanted to be for South Philly. Her capacity for thinking about things like that informed even just like how we how we surveyed all of our members for pricing and the products that we have in our store. Eliza was integral to how our board is composed, how our governance committee operates, how we evaluate our own performance. There's no part of our process in governance, in our bylaws, that Eliza hasn't touched. And she'll forever be a part of the fabric of this project. And so I just wanted to also say thank you sincerely to Eliza for her work here. And we will miss working with her. I will also say thank you to the other officers of the board, our treasurer Sharon and our current secretary A. They have served in their roles spectacularly, leading the finance committee and the governance committee. They will be stepping off of their officer roles and back into at-large director roles this summer. But I'm glad to have their support and their continued service on our board. And just very, very excited for our new crop of officers, which the board will meet to discuss at our June meeting, the end of next month, the 26th, I believe. And our board meetings are open to the public. You're welcome to come and attend and see what we're talking about. I will also share, this is my last GMM as your board president. I was really excited to come to this project and to meet everyone here before we opened. I came to the board in 2019, just when Lori was hired, and it's been incredible. It's been incredible to work in a project where you can see the impact that you have on a community, where you can see the jobs that are created from all of the work that a group of volunteers and community organizers can do and put together. I think it's tremendous that we were able to navigate tariffs and COVID and all kinds of hurdles and financial issues and things like that, and reconstituting our board and renewing and always maintaining our commitment to democracy at all times. I really am just so proud of everyone who served alongside me during this journey. For the next phase of the co-op, I am not the best leader of this board. But I will be here next year to help folks transition and to support everyone and to transfer my knowledge and skills. And obviously I'm an active member owner and I love our store and I can't wait to see what happens next. But I'm just excited to pass this baton and see where you all run with it. It's just such an exciting time for us. We also have a lot of work to do still to ensure that we remain financially solvent. This was always going to be like a challenging part of our first 10 years or so, was this sort of middle bit. We anticipated this even before I was a board member. And so I just encourage you to continue to shop our co-op. That's the best way you can support us. Continue to share stories about us, continue to talk about us in your neighborhood. And if you know folks who've seen us before, invite them back. The store will be changing over, how we merchandise the store will be changing, and our prices will continue to become more and more friendly and accessible to everyone. With that, I have gone incredibly over my time and I shall pass it along to our wonderful governance committee. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Chad. Very exciting to be here with you all. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday night for our Spring GMM. So my name is I use they, them pronouns. I'm the secretary on the board of directors. I'm going to be speaking with my other governance committee colleague, Beckett, tonight. Eliza unfortunately isn't here, but she is the other member of our committee. So just wanted to make a quick note about our 2023 elections. We are very excited to have 5 candidates running for election this year. The 6th candidate who is on the screen, Evelyn, she unfortunately had to drop out due to an unexpected emergency that came up after we shared our ballot. So she's going to be on your ballot. So if you're casting your ballot for the election tonight, you will see her name. It is totally okay to vote for her. Just know that she is not actually running. She is withdrawn her candidacy. So we have Zaire, Joanna, Bradley, Sharon, and Tracy running for re-election and election to the board of directors this year. So we're going to give each of those folks an opportunity to introduce themselves now for just a quick minute. If you could share your name, your pronouns, and why you're interested in joining the board of directors, that would be great. And I will just call each of our candidates in. One note is that Brad unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. He was planning on attending, but couldn't make it due to an unforeseen emergency that came up. So I'm going to pass it to Zaire. Zaire, do you want to introduce yourself with your name, your pronouns, and why you're interested in joining the board?
Hi, everybody. My name is Zaire Durant-Young. I use he, him pronouns. I'm running for re-election. I've had a wonderful 2 years on the board. As Chad mentioned, serving on the membership committee, which is our newest committee. And something that I'm excited about is hopefully continuing to be able to work with engaging member owners in new ways. And not just that, but having opportunities to engage just community members in general, whether it's through store events, community outreach with different groups and organizations, daily shopping, or just little things like tabling during owner appreciation days, as well as upcoming coffee with the board events. So again, I'm really excited to be running again. So I'll get your vote. And I've loved the last couple of years being able to work with this wonderful group of people. It's really been amazing. They're a really, really good group of folks. And with that, I will pass it back to you, A.
Thanks, Zaire. Brad would have gone next, so I'll pass it over to Tracy to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see so many people. My name is Tracy Krupp. I use she, her pronouns, and I want to serve on the South Philly Food Co-op's board of directors because the co-op is a community-owned small business with a really powerful mission, and it's one that aligns to my personal values. I'd love to play a role in championing, amplifying, and furthering this mission. The co-op serves an essential need for folks in South Philly, but it's also a hub for connecting folks with each other and our community and other mission-driven businesses. I've been a South Philly resident since 2012. I live in Lower Moyamensing, not too far from the co-op with my partner, Brian, and we've been member owners since 2016. When we visit the co-op, it never really feels like we're running errands. So I'd really welcome the opportunity to work more closely alongside my neighbors and ensure the co-op's continued success. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. Is Joanna here? I didn't see Joanna in our participant list, but I think she was supposed to be here. Joanna, are you here? Okay, we'll move on to Sharon. Sharon, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Sharon Ulak. I use she, her pronouns. I am, like Zaire, running for re-election. I have very much enjoyed my last 2 years serving on the board. I am especially looking forward to continuing the momentum as a board member that we have really developed in the last 2 years as a store that's open, and just continuing the work that we have all been doing on this board. I have really enjoyed my time serving on the board and working with everybody, and I look forward to hopefully serving all of you again as a board member. I will pass it back to you, A.
Yeah, thanks so much. So these are our wonderful candidates. Like I said, Brad and Joanna are not here, but they will be on your ballot. So cast your ballot tonight. I'm going to pass it off to Beckett to talk about next steps and close us out from this election piece.
Great, thanks so much, A. I'm going to drop the link in the chat too for voting. If people want to get started. It does close at 8 p.m. tonight. So what a better time than now. To vote, you need to have your member ID, and then your password should have came in a separate email to the primary member on that account. And yeah, so it closes at 8, and that's all I have. Yeah, pass it off to who's next. Results will be shared in the coming weeks, by the way, via email. So it looks like we're going to go through our FY 2013 State of the Store report with Lori. Lori, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm Lori Birch, your General Manager. I just wanted to welcome in also some of the members of our department leads leadership team. Christo Johnson, our Grocery and Wellness Manager, is here. And Lauren, our front end and operations manager, and Carrie, our marketing manager, is present. With us, a few of our other department leads and assistants weren't able to be present, but might be hopping on throughout the meeting. We'll see. So thanks so much for our department leads for all the amazing work that you've been doing. It wouldn't be able to do the things that we've accomplished this year without such an amazing dynamic team. So I just want to give them a round of applause. Thank you guys so much for everything you're doing. I've just been so impressed by everything that we've been able to make happen this whole year, 2023, but like especially January through March, it has just been a real flurry of activity, and we've done so much good stuff. So our operations impact. So our big priority for 2023 was to strengthen our operational systems and ensure our financial viability, which is an ongoing process, while also continuing to advance our mission, which Chad read to you, using food as a force for good at our tables, in our community, and for our planet. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our accomplishments. Chad mentioned some of these as well. One of the really big, super duper huge things that we made happen this fiscal year was to become members of the National Co-op Grocers. It is a co-op of co-ops. It gives us buying power to leverage ourselves in the marketplace in a way that is not possible and was not possible for us before that as an independent co-op. I know you guys have heard me talking over the years about the challenges that we faced in the marketplace and being able to access healthy food at a price that we can afford and pass along to our customers. And this year we were able to achieve amazing strides through our members with NCG. And NCG also offers us a lot of other supportive resources. So from group buying or being able to order things like the bags that we have in the store to training and technical support services through Co-op University, which our staff are able to participate in training, lots of great stuff. And then we saw a lot of major improvements to our pricing programs. Our Everyday Basics program evolved to Co-op Basics. There's about 100 products throughout the store, if not more, that are now available at even better everyday low prices. So that is amazing to have those competitively priced products in our store. And they're the same products that you would find at other co-ops at the same prices. So we're able to really truly be competitive on things like, staples like beans and rice and those sorts of things. And then co-op deals. Everybody's been loving the co-op deals program, which we've evolved our monthly sales program to twice a month. We now offer the co-op deals program. We have a real sales flyer. Christo and Josh and the grocery team switch up our sales every 2 weeks. So we're offering even better prices on sales and even more items. And Christo's been working especially hard to optimize participation in that program so that we can offer even better sales, more sales. Some of the items that are in the flyer we're currently not offering, but Christo's working on bringing on more of those. We may not be able to carry all of them, but we are bringing more of those on over time. And then there's the coupons, which are throughout the store for also additional amazing savings. So a lot of great things have happened to improve pricing. And now I want to talk, next slide, thank you. Now I want to talk a little bit more about our Food Bucks program. Maybe it's not advancing. Our Food Bucks program is really awesome. The Food Bucks program is something that we wanted to participate in and offer before we opened the store. But unfortunately, we were not able to just because we didn't have the history that we needed for our SNAP purchases and the technology in place in order to be able to offer that program. But Food Bucks is an incentive program that will, oh, looks like Brendan's computer froze. That's okay. The Food Bucks program is an incentive produce purchasing incentive program so that folks can get more produce for their SNAP dollars. So when you come in and you buy products using food stamps or SNAP, for every $10 you spend, you would get $4 of free produce, which is really awesome. So that's very helpful. And it's been exciting to launch that. And we've already, sorry, I'm just going to move on to my own slide so I can see what I'm talking about. Great. So that's been really great. And in addition to that, over $1,000 have gone out in the Food Bucks program and for free produce into our community. And our SNAP purchases have increased. They're increasing consistently. And right now we're at about 4.7%. From last year we were. Additionally, we have been doing a lot of programs like Roundup. We started that when we first opened, so folks can round up their purchase. And then last year we added in funds for the bag program. So like when you get a paper bag in the store, instead of us just having and absorbing the additional cost of that, we are now offering folks to pay for their paper bag. And then instead of us just taking that money to recoup it, we distribute that funding out into our community because it's very important for us to give back to our community and to provide support and build relationships with our community. And so the Roundup program has been a really great way for us to connect with at least 12 groups every year and work to build relationships with them that extends beyond just raising money for them, but like telling their story, getting their information about the organization and the services they provide to our community out there. And then additionally, we've been working really hard and have consistently been working hard on amplifying local brands and regional brands. We work with groups like Lancaster Farm Fresh Co-op distributor, the Common Market, Artisan Exchange, and others, and then direct relationships with vendors. And then an area that we've been working on and are going to continue working on is highlighting BIPOC and women-owned brands. And throughout our store, you'll see new labels that are on the shelf that indicate, you know, this is a Black-owned business or this is a woman-owned business. This is an AAPI-owned business. This month was AAPI month. So we've been focusing on those also on social media. So that's a lot of the stuff that we've been doing from the operational perspective. I'm going to toggle back and see if the slides came back up. Yay, they are. Awesome. All right, let's talk a little bit about financials. Just the fun stuff everybody wants to hear, which is financials are super important because without the finances, no margin, no mission. You know, we need to bring in the money in order for us to do all the good stuff we want to do. If we want to use food as a force for good, we have to be a sustainable business financially. And so we have made some great successes in terms of our financials this year. Sales were really amazing again this year. We exceeded our sales projections and our sales growth was 15.4% over last year, which is really awesome. So we're vastly have exceeded our pro forma projections in terms of sales. So that's the good. The challenge for us has been on the side of net income and then also cash. So Net income, that's what's left over after we pay for everything. So we have our sales, which is all the purchases that you guys make in the store. And then we have our margin, our gross profit margin. And gross profit is basically what's left over after we pay for our cost of goods. We've been having some challenges in attaining our gross profit margin goal. A lot of that has been because of the pressure that we have been facing in regards to the cost of goods and not really having the economy of scale that we need to be able to navigate the market effectively. But that's changing now that we're NCG members. So we're seeing a lot of improvements in that and have over the last month. And then basically we have all of our expenses, you know, keep paying our rent, keeping the lights on, all of that important stuff to stay in business, essential things that we have to pay for. And at the end of the day, that's in the net income is the money that we have or the what we made off of that. And of course, we plan to have an operating loss for the first few years of doing business. And that loss was not to budget this year. So we budgeted for negative 3.6% net income, and our actual was negative 10.8. That was despite working very hard to attain those goals. But it was an improvement over last year, where our losses were 14.1%. And we're now trending, I think, in the right direction, both by attaining the sales volume that we need to get, the customer counts that we need to hit every day, and the gross profit margin that we need to hit in order to be able to start breaking even. We are continuing to see growth in our ownership and our equity. So ownership and equity has helped us offset our net income, our operating losses, growing our member owners, our base of owners, and bringing in additional equity to grow and retain our cash cushion. So our budget for new owners was 140. We brought in 128, so it was pretty close. We're now up to 1911 new owners. For equity, we budgeted for $50,000 to be raised in new owner equity, and we raised $62,000. So that was really awesome. And I just want to thank all of our member owners. Many of you I see on this call who contributed to our equity drive last year. So thank you so much. This year, we're looking to bring in 120 new owners and again, $50,000 in new equity, but we do have some additional capital needs that we're going to talk about in a minute. Overall, our cash position has been the biggest challenge that we have faced. Not hitting our gross profit, therefore not hitting our net income goal, has put a strain on cash, and cash is currently, or at the end of the fiscal year, was at 31,000. And our required was 75. So that's an area that we've been working to improve. And it's a long haul. It's going to be a long haul because we need to, break even and continue to bring in, working capital in order to be able to hit that cash threshold that we need. So as Chad said, shopping in the store is super important. You can also add equity, donate to our community equity fund, join the co-op if you're not an owner yet, and also ask about our owner loan and co-op cash programs. Next slide, if it works. Yay. All right, so now we're going to talk about it. I know you guys keep hearing about the capital campaign. It's been every year. I feel like we've talking to you about our capital needs. Just to share a little bit about how we got to where we are right now, the hurdles that we faced from opening later than we planned to open, and the additional costs that we incurred, both because of the new tariffs, additional rising costs of everything everywhere that was already happening before the pandemic, and then the slowdown and the additional costs that we saw with the pandemic and just the rising cost of everything, inflation, continued to put us in a challenging position that we're in. And then, of course, another pressure that we have on us right now is that we're starting to see owner loans coming due. Some of our very first owner loans are coming due in just 2 months. And so the challenge that comes with that is that we were initially planning for those owner loans to come due later into our operating schedule. So we were planning to be open for more years. And therefore, attain a kind of a solider, more solid financial foundation before we started having to pay those back. But as we know, we had, all of those hurdles that we had to overcome before we were able to open the store in December 2020, including a whole pandemic. So we're going to be reaching out, and I did mention this in some of the newsletters that were sent out in April during our equity drive. Thanks for everybody who participated in that. And even some members have offered to help in a deeper, bigger way. And so some of those ways that you can help is that if you have a current loan, owner loan with the co-op, you could offer to refinance that loan so that it is due farther out down the road. Or, if you're feeling super generous, you could donate it to the Community Equity Fund. You could forgive your interest. There's a whole slew of ways that you can help out with our owner loan refinance program. We will be opening up new owner loans, kind of in a limited capacity for folks to invest in. And then, of course, we did reopen our co-op cash program, and we are doing a community equity fund campaign. Co-op cash is kind of like a short-term loan to the co-op because you're buying store credit that you would use in October or later. So the idea is to help us get through these slower summer months. And the Community Equity Fund is a really awesome program because what it does is not only does it provide and build equity, which is fundamentally important to us as a business in the co-op, but that equity is then used to ensure that every community member who wants to become an owner of the co-op does not have a financial barrier to doing so, because we will provide a subsidy to offset the costs of up to $275 of ownership. So we want ownership to be accessible to all. And so that program helps make that possible. And then, of course, we'll continue to be seeking out grants, and we'll be talking with community and conventional financing institutions to help us bridge the gap. Great. All right. So let's talk a little bit. Oh, and just to go back to we don't have to go back to the other slide, but the total amount that we're looking to bring in this year is about $100,000. And as we generally feel like is necessary and is often required of outside funders, they usually want to see about 50% of that coming from our community, from our member owners. And so that's why we're looking to the programs like Co-op Cash, the CEF, owner loans to help make that happen. And thank you, Daniel. I see your message there. We will be sending out a whole bunch of information to those who have loans with the co-op with information on how to refinance your loan. So thank you so much for expressing an interest in that. And we've been working on coming up with a nice tool to make it easy in a streamlined way for folks to go ahead and do that. So thanks to Chad and also to our finance committee and finance team for supporting me with that effort. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about looking ahead. Thriving as a financially viable business is a super critical thing for us. This is just such an important year for us to get to a stronger financial position in terms of cash and in terms of having our operating practices in a place where they need to be. So that includes continuing to grow our sales. That's an important way that you can help. We're going to be doing, I'm going to let some folks from our team talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that we're working on if they want to chime in. We got a new loading zone, which will hopefully make it a little bit easier for folks to shop at the store. And then we're doing a bunch of other really cool stuff that we have coming up. Does anybody want to hop in and share?
I can jump in if you like.
Yeah, thanks, Christo.
Sure. Hey all, my name is Christo. I use they, them pronouns. I'm the grocery and wellness manager. I've been at the co-op since September of 2020. Was the first employee after Lori. So been there from the beginning, just building the store and responsible for all of the product selection aside from produce. So everything aside from produce is like my kind of my baby. And yeah, I've been through lots of changes the past couple of years, and yeah, I've been feeling really good about what we've been able to accomplish with working, having worked with NCG, or having getting started with NCG recently. So like all of the co-op deals, the co-op basics, all that stuff is like, part of my daily responsibilities. Yeah, I guess, the main things that I'm working on are just continuing to bring in lots of new products, trying to grow our sales through kind of constant product reevaluation, or like, product set reevaluation. I, along with our assistant grocery buyer, have been doing lots of little resets around the store. So just like looking at sections of the store that maybe like aren't performing as well, or need like a little bit of a refresh in terms of product mix, and addressing that. It's a lot of products, so like it's kind of a slow process, and we're kind of just like doing it piecemeal as we have time. Or not as we have time. It's like, our day-to-day is really busy with, receiving and stocking and all of the general day-to-day maintenance. So, like it's kind of a matter of like carving out pockets of time to do these, smaller projects. But yeah, as you go around the store, you may have noticed that, certain areas look a little bit different, or, there are new products on the shelf. That's the thing that I'm working on. So I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, I guess my next big project is going to be a reset in the wellness department. That part of the store has not been, it's not performing the way that I want it to be, and it's not as much, yeah, looking at other stores in our area that are like the same size, like I'm just trying to create a wellness section that provides the things that folks are looking for. So yeah, my next like big project is doing like a big reset in the wellness department. Both time and money has been kind of an issue in getting that kind of off the ground, but we are in a better place to be able to do that now. So look out for that change on the horizon. And yeah, I don't know. Recently brought in the bulk coffee set, which you may have seen. That's been like a huge boost to our bulk department sales. I'm really excited about that, and having a partnership with Equal Exchange, who's another co-op, has been really great. And yeah, what else? I don't know. I don't have a ton to say, but I've had a long day working at the store. We had kind of a wild day with some mishaps with our big distributor UNFI, but we got through it. But yeah, I just want you to know that I'm like very committed to the growth of the store. It's been like really fantastic to get to see, yeah, just like all of the work that we've put in over the past 2.5 or change years start to pay off. And watching us exceed our sales expectations has been really validating. And while we still have a lot of work to do, there's a lot more to go as far as like margin and turning a profit goes. That's the work that I'm committed to. And it's these like little decisions on day-to-day basis that help to contribute to that. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the continued growth of the co-op, and yeah, making it a space that we all feel proud of, that I feel proud of, and that serves our community in the ways that they need and want. If you see me in the store, please say hello. I'm always like down to talk to people. I'm always interested to talk to people. I'm excited to see this next iteration of the board. And I really hope that there can be a way for the board to be more involved with staff, or just to like interface with staff more, because I think that's a thing that's been really missing. And I think that would be really beneficial for the board, the staff, and membership as a whole. So yeah, hoping that that becomes a priority in this next board cycle. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, talk to me in the store, email me, whatever. I am here for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Christo. Thanks for your hard work. That was back
I'll say a few
today.
words if you want. Can
Lauren,
guys
you gonna
hear me?
hop in?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? I don't have the best speaker. Okay. Hi, I'm Lauren. I use she, her pronouns. I started here September of 2022. I came on at a super exciting time when all of these amazing programs were being implemented, like NCG, and I was excited to be a part of Food Bucks. I was previously working at Kensington Co-op, and that was something we were trying to do. So it was really exciting to get to see that process through. And yeah, I'm most excited about just being a part of all the behind the scenes stuff and helping in any way I can, really. I find the operations job to be very different at every co-op I've worked at, and that's just kind of be what that co-op needs. And so I'm happy to do that. And I'm looking forward to completing our credit card processor switch. I think that's a pretty big, significant thing that's happened this year that's going to save us and has already saved us thousands of dollars. So that process is almost over. We're halfway there. And I also am super excited about our garden center that we started out back. And I look forward to watching that grow and being a part of everything in the store. And yeah, special shout out to the staff for everything you do every day. And I'm super excited to be here. So I'm going to be quick because I know we're running short on time, but thanks everybody.
I can talk quick too. Hi, everyone. Carrie Citron. I use she, her pronouns. I am the marketing manager for South Philly Food Co-op. Also wanted to give some shout outs. The garden center is just amazing. We are getting so much exciting. Everyone just loves it so much. It's really, really special to be there. Huge shout out to Christo for all their work with NCG and or like the co-op deals and co-op basics. Again, another thing that we see so much great positive feedback about. Something I'm really excited about, just kind of really more deepening relationships with the community, you know, different community organizations, groups in the neighborhood, more Shop South Philly partners. We've been doing a lot more features on social media about our Shop South Philly partners in hopes to kind of gather more. We have a big project coming up and some folks are already expressing some interest in adding to our Shop South Philly program. So that's pretty exciting. More collaborations, whether that be with local brands, chefs coming in, talking about how to make something, shopping tips, really just kind of deepening our relationships with a lot of the different folks, like partners we have in the community. If anyone ever has any ideas, kind of similar to what Christo said, I'm happy to. First of all, you could always just DM the account on Instagram. It's me. Hi. I can just reply. But yeah, I'm always open to any ideas you have. Would love to do more events too. If anyone has ideas for events, or if they have a specialty where they think they could possibly teach a class in something, I would love to hear it. And thanks everyone for being here today.
Awesome. Thank you, Christo, Lauren, and Carrie. Thank you guys for all your hard work. And thanks everybody for your patience with the debit credit card switchover. It's been a little bit of a thing, but it's going pretty smoothly. So we're thankful for everybody for their hard work. I think we can move on to the membership.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Zaire, again. I just want to give a few quick membership update. A few months ago, we had coffee with the board. at Flannel. We're going to continue that. We're going to try to make it an every couple of month thing that we're doing because we want to meet. And it's a nice way to just grab a cup of coffee, chat. We can let you know updates that are going on, recap things from our board meetings, just events that have happened in the store, highlight any upcoming events that are going on, and just chat in general. Again, if you have ideas, thoughts about things, need clarification about something, that would be a great time to just do that in a nice, relaxed atmosphere. We're hoping that our next one will be in July, but there'll be more info coming out about that soon. If you don't have this on your calendar already, our next Owner Appreciation Day is coming up very soon. It's June 15th. It's from 9 to 9 at the store. There's a free apricot for the first 140 member owner shoppers. So please come in and don't forget to ask for your apricot. We're also going to have a couple of free samples from Jaffe Natural Foods and Nourish Cold Pressed Juice. That's going to be from 11 to 1. Riani and Plants on Fire, they're going to be free samples as well from 5 to 7. So if you can't come in early in the day, you're like me, you don't get off of work until a little bit later, you can be there from 5 to 7 and there will still be free samples for you. And just a reminder for member owners, you get 10% off your groceries all day. So if you're thinking about a grocery order that you need to do, you need to come in and grab things, that's the perfect day to do it. And again, that's June 15th from 9 to 9. We'll also be out there tabling, so you'll be able to come and meet and greet and say hello to some board members as well. And just a couple upcoming community events. There's a gardening Q&A that'll be coming up on June the 3rd on the back patio at the store. That'll be from 10 to 10:45. Rescheduled flavors on the Ave. We are all crossing our fingers that it is not going to be as gross weather as it was for the original date. Come and see us on the Ave. We'll have people there tabling from 11 to 5. I'll be there personally from 3 to 5. Come by, say hey, ask any questions that you might have about the store, just things that are going on. Again, fingers crossed that it is going to be a lovely day. I will be there. If I need to wear a poncho, I'll be in a poncho with a positive attitude. So please come by. And just one more thing for you, just to let you know, we'll be donating 5% of our sales on Juneteenth to Everybody Eats. Again, if you're thinking about another day that you need to come out and do some shopping in the store, that's the perfect day to do so. And again, you already know that your purchase is your money is going to a great cause, but this is just another one, okay? Again, 5% of sales on that day will be going to Everybody Eats on Juneteenth. I see that Chad dropped in the chat something that's going on tomorrow, office hours, with him to discuss the capital campaign. Please see the link in the chat from 1 to 1:30 and from 6 to 6:30, okay? And I can talk very quickly. I can. Again, just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules. Again, pop by the store. You know where we are, 231 South Juniper Street. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Quick reminder, don't forget to vote tonight by 8 p.m. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, things that haven't popped up, please drop them in the chat. Again, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you.